What up, world? EstablishedRich coming right back at you. The Cleveland Browns have a real quarterback situation going on between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. And the part that has my attention is not just who wins the job. It's how Shedeur is handling another situation where he could feel like the deck is stacked against him.
Browns head coach Todd Monken has said that the starting job will come down to between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, and that each quarterback will start one preseason game before they obviously make a decision here who starts the third. So we're waiting for word from Monken about which quarterback starts the first preseason game, which starts the second. And it feels like with this team opening with 2 straight road games in Florida, one in Jacksonville in the opener, the next week in Tampa, feels like a veteran could have an advantage here. But again, there's the preseason to play out. There's the actual games on the field, and there's a lot left to be determined in Cleveland before Todd Monken names his new starting quarterback.
This is a legitimate competition. Deshaun Watson gets the first preseason start. Shedeur gets his opportunity after that. And at some point, one of them has to separate themselves and take the job. And I don't think Cleveland owes Shedeur anything just because he spent last year playing. His rookie year had some good moments, and it had some rough moments. So if he wants to be QB1, he's going to have to take it. But here's what I like about the way he's moving. Every time the media tries to turn this into a Shedeur versus Deshaun argument, he keeps bringing it back to football. He is not sitting there counting Deshaun's money or complaining about who got first reps that day. He is simply saying we both are going to try to get better, and I'm going to think about what I can control. That is exactly how he needs to handle it, because nothing good comes from making the locker room choose a side before the coach even picks a starter.
I don't think with the coaches that we have, you ever wonder. I think whatever is said is direct. Obviously, it's like we was informed, and everything the right way. So it was never a miscommunication between us, So I don't know. I just don't really appreciate sometimes if things happen, and y'all just jump on the coach like he just tripping or something. I don't really like that because it creates just extra, and I hope you all here to want to win, and be a team and be a franchise. So it's kind of like you got to slow down. That's what we want, but we just in here to just make money and get clicks. Then, we understand that too. So that's why I just appreciate the team. I appreciate everybody that we don't let anything online or anything really get to us, because we're in our own cocoon. We're a team. So anything outside of that don't really affect us to be good.
This is where I think Shedeur has grown a lot. I remember watching him in college, flashing that Rolex after he scored a touchdown. And I used to think some of that is going to rub the NFL the wrong way. We might look at that and say he's just being confident and having fun. The NFL is full of old school coaches, general managers, and owners. They can look at the exact same thing and see showboating, entitlement, or somebody who hasn't learned how to handle his business shit. And I think some of what happened at the NFL draft forced him to look at things differently.
We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless.
He went into that weekend with people talking about him being a first-round draft pick, and then sat there while team after team passed him until Cleveland finally took him in the 5th round. That would humble anybody. Now, we can talk about why he failed, was it fair or not, but none of that is going to change where he got drafted. At that point, Shedeur had 2 choices: stay angry about where he should have gone, or make somebody regret letting him fall. And that is where his story started getting more interesting to me. He went into Cleveland behind other quarterbacks, including another rookie that the Browns drafted before him, and he didn't spend the whole season telling everybody he was disrespected. He waited for his opportunity, eventually got on the field, started 7 games, and showed enough that we are sitting here a year later still talking about him. Now let's keep it real about last year too. He didn't come in and light the NFL on fire, so I don't want to turn this into something that it wasn't. He threw some interceptions, his completion percentage has to get better, and there were plenty of plays where you could still see he has a lot to learn. But he also showed enough to keep his name in the conversation. And for a 5th round pick, that is a good place to be in year number 2.
I want to apologize for how things was last time I came up here before y'all. I think dearly. I dislike when it's a lot of separation and when something
And when something gets between the team and people get painted a certain way and all this different type of stuff, so that's where I get frustrated and I shut down, because this doesn't help us win. So it's kind of like an option, but not an option. So I feel drained when I express myself to people and places and cameras when it's not received and taken the right way, or we're trying to divide the team or anything like that. So that's where I was just trying to preserve my energy from going in depth with a lot of things. So I got more comfortable within the offense. There's definitely still challenges every day that you got to correct and focus on and be able to improve.
The thing I notice now is that he don't seem interested in winning every conversation. That is a big difference from somebody who constantly has to prove to you that they know how good they are. And that don't mean his confidence is gone. I think the confidence is still there. It just looks more useful. Because confidence is great when it makes you work. It becomes a problem when it makes you think the job should be handed to you. And nothing about this current situation is being handed to Shedeur. Deshaun Watson is a veteran who has played at a high level in this league. And he is fighting for his own career right now. That's why I don't want to make Deshaun the bad guy in this story. He has every right to compete for that job, just like Shedeur has every right to take it from him. This is sports. The interesting part is how Shedeur got here. At Jackson State, people said the competition wasn't good enough. Then he went to Colorado, was put behind a weak offensive line, and he still kept producing. Then the draft comes, and all the conversations are about his personality, his interviews, his father, and whether the NFL teams really like him. After all of that, he falls to the 5th round and has to start at the back of the line. Then he gets his shot as a rookie, and now Deshaun Watson is back in the picture. That is a lot of different moments where somebody could start feeling sorry for themselves. And that's the part I give Shedeur credit for. He keeps finding a way to get back to the next play instead of spending all his energy arguing about the last one. That is also why I think his faith has helped him. After that draft slide, he talked about believing that everything happens for a reason. And whether you share his beliefs or not, you can understand what that mindset does for him. It gives him somewhere to put that disappointment other than anger.
I've always said about Shedeur, but even the last week or so, Deshaun has played better. He has played better. He's looked better. He's made better decisions.
Were you saying that he's gotten better since camp or that he is better than Shedeur?
I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shedeur. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that shit.
I'm not.
I would just say in general that they've all gotten better.
Now all this talk has to turn into football. Deshaun gets his start, Shedeur gets his start, and we finally get to watch them play against somebody who ain't wearing the same jersey. This is where Shedeur has to show his next step. Can he get through his reads quicker, protect the football, and run the defense better than Deshaun? Because the attitude can get you respect, but it can't win the job for you. The job is still going to come down to who plays better football. And that is actually why I like this story. It has all the drama people want with a real quarterback competition. But there is also something to watch in how Shedeur has matured since college. He still has the confidence. He still smiles, still talks his talk, and he still believes he should be the guy. But he seems to understand now that the NFL don't care about your watch, your daddy, or where you think you should have been drafted. They care about whether you can play. And if Deshaun outplays him, then Shedeur has to take that too and keep working. If Shedeur outplays Deshaun, Cleveland has to be honest enough to give him an opportunity. This is what competition is supposed to look like. And that's why I'm more interested in this version of Shedeur than the version who used to flash his watch every time he scored. This version don't need to tell you he coming. He has an actual chance to show you. The draft slide is over. The college talk is over. The excuses are over. Now you got Deshaun Watson standing between you and a starting job in the NFL. This is about as simple as sports get. Go take it. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. EstablishedRich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.